Here, have a sage. Have a smudge. Have a smudge. I just got some sage burning for you. Good morning, divine chosen ones, and welcome back to my channel here at the Leo from Jersey. I'm so glad to have you back again, another day with me here. I love speaking to a very selective group of chosen ones that God has specifically sent to me and for me, and we are for each other, which has been so beautiful. So today I pulled some cards to see what God wanted the message to be about today. So let's just go ahead and discuss real quick. I'm gonna give you something cute. Oh wow, something cute and short today, so that we keep it cutesy. We keep it cutesy here. We keep it very demure, very mindful, so that you can just consider this message for your day, and then be on your fabulous, lovely, merry way. And this will be a timeless reading, so whenever it reaches you, it's meant to reach you. Okay. So first off, I want to start off by saying that Spirit is really warning me that you definitely need to have more fun. I don't think, thank you, confirmation. I think that you've been very serious. I think you've been really following the divine creative inspiration that Spirit has been sending to you, whether in the form of videos or suggestions, or like you pick a cards, or a tarot, or astrology readings, or even listening to the people around you, and you've been picking up on those synchronicities. Like, you know that when somebody in your vicinity says something like, oh, you should blank, 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 then you know that that is a synchronistic sign from God, that they were pulled to say that to you, and that, like, if you don't follow through with that, it's just like, how do I say, a method or way of going that you just like didn't pull through on. Okay, it's a synchronistic sign that didn't end up happening, which we want to avoid that ever happening. We want to make sure that we're always on the highest possible timeline, the highest possible timeline option for what for you, and for what you can operate with, what you can pull in, what you can manifest, etc. I think you're finally getting to a place where the previous heartbreaks, the previous unhappiness, the previous disappointments are finally starting to roll off you. I'm seeing in my mind's eye like water, like you standing under the shower and it pouring off of you, like all that sadness and unhappiness and all that extra energy that was led up to this big event that kind of it fell flat. I'm hearing wah, wah, wah. Like, that's what I'm hearing in my head. But it also makes me think of that, of that Megan Thee Stallion, womp, 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 womp. So maybe you've had to deal with a lot of people also not only trying you in the past. I have here the Devil upright as well, next to Queen of Wands. So in addition to reclaiming power, feeling better, looking better, and finally decentering others, and in fact focusing on what your dreams are. This is what dreams are made of. That's what I'm hearing in my head. That's so funny. Is that like Hilary Duff or something? I haven't heard that song in so long. That's so crazy. Or maybe it's Lizzie McGuire or something. Wait, that's the same girl, isn't it? Sorry, that was so bad. That was so bad. This is what dreams are made of, chosen ones. Because I know you're finally in a place. It feels like there's like a jovial energy that there hasn't been in a few months. We're finally in this place where it's like forgiving of yourself for the mistakes made, forgiving of yourself for falling in love with that person who hurt you, or choosing that job that didn't work out, or that a boss that ended up like abusing you, or using you in an incorrect way. Like, finally in a place where we're like, okay, that chapter has ended and closed, and that's in the past, and now I'm feeling the rain on my skin, like with the weather changes and the sun and the ability to go out more and experience more again. Spirit is about to set you up for a new life. What a song that's from, a musical, I think. A new life. So Spirit wanted me to tell you, be open to more creative and divine inspiration, because you ain't met everyone. in your life yet. That's what I'm hearing. You ain't met everyone who's important in your life yet. You might even, okay, here's a synchronicity for you. Here's something for you. In the next 3 weeks, you will meet someone. That's what I'm really seeing. I'm seeing someone coming right up to you, recognizing the spiritual inclinations that you have as well, and just making that connection immediately. And that this person will hint you that's the person I'm talking about, because they'll, confirmation, because they'll say the phrase, I'm very spiritual, or I believe in a lot of weird things, and then they'll go on to tell you about how they believe in aliens, which is not weird at all because those are proven to be right. Or they'll believe that you can speak to past over loved ones or whatever, something along the lines of that. So someone will be really clear about how, and then you'll have a chance and opportunity to open up about your beliefs as well with this person. So you ain't met everyone yet is really important for you to hear, because sometimes spirit sends you people for a season so that you can learn from them, learn what you need to learn from those situations, how you were previously used, there were red flags that obviously you can see now were evident and plain at the time, but you were not in your most mature mind to have known that. And you can't blame yourself for that, okay? The point of this life is not only falling in love, and I mean that in a platonic and as well as in a romantic way, pardon me, because the more that you fall in love and even with friends and with people around you and meet them, and you develop feelings and emotions, you grow. Your maturity, your self-acceptance, your conscious decisions, they grow with you, because everything that you make past that point is informed by what you've learned to that point. So spirit needed to put you through certain trials and tribulations to inform how you learn in that certain order and in that way, in that pathway, so that when a certain person that's meant for you, a situation that's meant for you, an opportunity that's meant for you, you not only understand how to operate on your highest timeline in it, but you recognize any red flags that other people, or sabotage that other people might present to you. You felt so trapped and so unable to be the arbiter, I'm hearing, ironic, because I'm the arbiter, I know the score. That's from chess. You've not had the opportunity to make decisions for yourself in the way that you have wanted to previously in the past. Like, for example, I was watching the TV show Adolescence on Netflix, and I was thinking about how, yes, the decisions that Jamie made were all completely his own. This is just an example. He's a child. He's 13 years old. But they are also completely informed by the adults and imposing mature figures around him. He can only operate within a certain breadth because of the fact that he's a child, because of the fact that there are people that look after him and tell him you can only do this, etc., etc. And just like you had those limiters as well and had to figure out a way to work around them, you figured out also as you got older how to break those barriers, how there were things instilled within you in that time, maybe by parents or by siblings or by by misconceptions that you created for yourself to survive when things were really difficult for you in those Saturn square years, because I'm talking, the Saturn square years are like 7, 15, so like high schoolish, and then 21-ish, 22-ish. So if you think back in your mind to what was going on in those periods of your life, to me, those were the darkest times of my life. Those were the most difficult times of my life. They were very, very tough and required all of my being in person, and I barely survived as it was. But the barely surviving is what got me. I hate to even be the one to tell you, to trigger warning, content warning, but I even attempted suicide at one point, like in a really poor, stupid way. Not a very serious way. I took, I think, like 10 Advil or something, and then I got very confused as to why I was like loopy, absolutely loopy, really interesting. So, it's just interesting the way we have these full circles when all of a sudden we become adults and we look back and we see all the things that we feel that we had to do, the things that we had to go through, the emotions we had to bust through the wall about in order to come out the other side healthier and able to help other people. Because I really see, Chosen One, that in addition to you learning all this, God uses you as a catalyzer to get other people on the right track as well. Because just like the parents and other society was the boundaries for Jamie, you inadvertently become boundaries for someone else so that they learn the lessons that they need to learn. So you also have to forgive yourself for being the villain in other people's stories. That's really the key as well. Other people are always going to have a narrative of what did or didn't happen, and it is heavily opinion based. But just know that God sees all. God sees all. God, you can't hide from what actually happened, and the truth always comes out. So these aspects of restlessness, over feeling stagnant, over being like, okay, I've learned the lesson. Am I ready to move on yet? Yes. Just breathe into it. Just breathe into it. The villain era is sort of over. The villain era is sort of over. You got away with things in the past that you would not even attempt now. They would feel, in fact, I'm hearing, disrespectful to God or spirit, whether that's self-harm or like other people's self-harm, like assisting other people, not in this crash course of learning and on love and on physical body autonomy and on what's appropriate and what's not. In addition to that, there will always be times in your life that in order to come out the other side, the psychiatrist, well, you have to have gone through all the things. You have to have gone through the schooling, babe. You have to have had your shit rocked. You have to have been hit over the head with books a few times for it to make sense. And for your ultimate partnerships to come together can only happen when these people who have been through trauma come together and understand each other is not only triggers but also things that make them happy, and we see eye to eye on those things, on what's right and what's wrong, so that we can all operate in our healthiest, most mature, most not to say God-fearing, but most intelligent timeline. Excuse me, it's the truth. So don't be upset when these feelings come back up, when these memories come back up, and then you have these moments. I'm seeing this moment of cringe. I remember this one TikTok I saw once, all the way back. I don't have TikTok anymore, but back in the day, there was this TikTok, and it was like me remembering that time I did that thing. And it was this girl, this compilation to like Sweet Dreams. It was like Sweet Dreams, and it was just a compilation of her cringing in various places. She's like, ooh, 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 ooh. It's like cringing in the shower, cringing in a walk, cringing in a car, cringing, just like, and that feeling is the thing that I really want to sort of allow you to say, let that go. It's okay. Breathe through it. All of us are the villains in someone else's story, even our own. We do things that make us look back. Thank you, confirmation. We look back in time and say, why did I do that to myself? Why was I my own biggest op? When other people wanted to hurt me, when other people wanted to limit me, why did I not only allow it, but actualize it? Like, you're right, I'll never amount to anything. I'll never do that thing. I'll never be that person. I'll never have that money. I'll never have that partner that I thought that I'm owed. Baby, let go and let God. Have more fun. And I know you are, and you will be in this next upcoming season. The focus on yourself is the best thing that you could possibly have. Putting yourself at the center of the jigsaw, the Daniel Sloss jigsaw, baby, where everything else fits in around in your jigsaw, your puzzle, when you are the key in the center. It's so easy to fill in the outsides of a puzzle because they're the easiest to see, as when you have that center already done and you make that outside and it just clicks together. You have that partner, job, hobbies, friends, spirituality, or divination practices, and then all those other pieces that fit around you, baby. You, yes, you're the main character. Yes, the worst is over. You've carried so many burdens up until this point because you are so pure, you are so chosen, you are so like beloved that any offense to other people you have allowed to stay on your spirit to this point, and God just wants you to let that go, baby. Let that go. Take a breath in with me. And breathe out. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Thank God we are here. Thank God you are listening to me. We are here together. I'm with you, baby. I see all of you. I see all of you and what you have done, not only for yourself and for others. And yes, of course, there's going to be times when you are the villain in other people's story, whether inadvertently or vertently, in the way that you You sometimes can even be the villain when it comes down to setting your own boundaries, when telling other people that, walking all over you or using you, or the things that you might have allowed in the past, you would not allow anymore. The inner child that you needed protecting all along, you are stepping up to protect them. And if you would not allow it to happen to them, if you would not allow it to happen to little Jamie, then you most certainly would not allow it to happen to you now, especially knowing what you know now. That's maturity. That's self-acceptance. That's conscious decisions. That's the shield. Spirituality and learning, maturing, is the shield against the daggers of the past. Heal, forgive, and allow, remember that all things, all unhappy home and family, all moments of where you're happily ever after didn't play out the way that you thought, the way that you envisioned, the way that you manifested, and you're just like, I just don't understand. How did it just not happen the way that I wanted it to? Because, baby, you have something ahead of you that is so much better, so much greater, so much of a better fit that you had to have your shit rocked in the past just to get you unattached. I'm gonna give you an example, and then that's what I'm gonna do to close you out. I've started I'm a cat with 9 lives, babe. I've started 7 different what would be lives that I would still be attached to, but God didn't want me in any of those places. I owned a business with my ex-partner. God didn't want me there. He was an abusive narcissist. So I had to, again, content warning, he physically assaulted me, and it took getting to that place for me to up and leave. God had to rock me with every partner. I continuously am learning lessons through my partners, because in the olden days, chosen ones, in the olden days, there were things that I would have allowed. There were red flags I would not have seen. So I had to be shown the most narcissistic people, the most upsetting people, the liars, the cheaters, the abusers, the man that was, okay, and a totally different example of a person. I was basically living with someone. I was not at the house one day a week. That one day a week, they were cheating on me with somebody else. And it was 4 or 5 different people, raw. Yes, these things happen. Yes, you deal with it. You deal with the bodily autonomy of having that taken from you, having what you thought was control over your body just taken from you by someone who would use you and abuse you. And you just end up in these moments where you are spiraling, sitting by yourself thinking, God, how did I get here? It is to make or break you. It is to make or break you. Are you going to put up, or are you going to shut up? And to this point, you have had no choice but to put up, baby. You have put up and put up and put up and put up and put up until everything was stripped away. Everything that wasn't distillately you, a distillate of you, your hobbies, what you want, your interests, what you could look for in a partner, what you want in a job, what's best for you for career, because now I'm working a totally different job, babe. I don't own that business anymore. It absolutely failed. As soon as I left, because I was the one watching the bank business for the business, as soon as I left, it went under. That's what I'm talking about. There are things that are not meant to be. There are lessons that are meant to learn. And I know that I was a lesson that catalyzed also my ex as well. Because when I left, it rocked his world as well. And he lost his one source of income, and now he's in jail. So because of what he tried to do to the person after me. That's a story for a different day. But he tried to her. I don't even want to tell you what that is. He tried to leave her for dead, and I mean that literally. So sometimes God sees ahead in a way you could never hope to anticipate, and does not want to leave you in the same stagnant place, because the harder lesson, the even rougher lesson that is not even necessary, if you make the wrong decision, if you don't listen to God, you don't listen to that impetus, you don't listen to that divine intuition, that gut feeling that says, get me out of here. If you don't listen to that basic sense of safety and danger, that danger feeling that is inbred within all chosen ones, within all intuitive beings, within all humans, that they can work on. The more you ignore that feeling, the more it goes away, because it knows that it's not going to be able to do anything. Excuse me, that's the truth. The more that you ignore that intuition, the less you can use of it. Whereas when you use and work on and develop your intuition, you can sense immediate. You'll get to a point that you look at a person, you meet a new person that I mentioned from earlier, you meet that new person, you say, no, this one's not for me. Or the opposite. You meet a new person and say, oh my God, I met my other half. I met another person that's a friend to me that is exactly the same type as me, who's been through what I've been through, because I am not alone. One thing about me, I have never had a solo experience. I have never had an original experience. Whereas there's one of me, there's thousands of others who are going through exactly the same thing, who are the villains in other people's story and also their own, and are also developing themselves and their personage and what they think is appropriate and best for them. Okay. So don't feel that restlessness, baby. Don't worry, because you want it, you got it. You got something coming right up ahead for you, and it's coming in quick. It's coming in quick. But God needs you to be a divine messenger to be in this next era. Needed to have cleared you of all the demons, all the darkness, all the evil eye that other people have put upon you, all the self-harm tendencies, all of those things needed to be cleared off of you for you to be able to step in and deliver the good news in this new era and meet with the vibrational match people that are better for you, and be able to sense in others when they have that snaky snake, that demon of confusion upon them. Thank you very much. I've been Leo from Jersey. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or subscribe and join the Jersey Pride. You will only see messages when they are meant for you, I do a daily message that I love. I love doing something like this so we can all meet together and set our day right. Super cute. But also sometimes do pick a card readings when I'm pulled to, because you know I like to do all that sort of thing. And why shouldn't I be able to? It's my life. It's now or never. And I'm not gonna live forever. I just want to live. I'm kidding. Anyway, I've been the Leo from Jersey. Leave me a comment telling me about how your day is going. You know I love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.